naughty behaviors present themselves, there's no better tool than this to stop them from happening. There isn't a behavior that will exist where this won't fix. But again, it has to be, they have to understand what it is, understand the marker word, whether you're using NO for behaviors or we chose WRONG here. The majority of my clients, they have been yelling no and stop for so long, and the dog has become learned, it's called learned irrelevance. They don't pay any attention to it. So when you utilize my methods for behavior modifications, even without this, you are utilizing 4 eyes, and you're going to introduce a marker word. Well, if they don't understand the marker word, you can't move forward at that point. She knows the marker word before she ever learned this because we've been working on the naughty behaviors from the beginning of the training. And that's more so being her owners. It's hard with behavior modifications because I have to present the situation and manipulate her environment to make the behavior happen in order to modify it. That being said, I can't say, Kenzie, chew the couch. It doesn't work like that. I would have to just continually be here. So with behavior modifications, the owners really need to get involved because they're the ones that are going to be present when the behavior presents itself, and I teach them how to utilize my method to stop the unwanted behaviors. That being said, they've been utilizing the pet corrector, which is a noise that is not pleasurable to the dog. They don't like it. It's almost similar to like a snake sound. It's a compressed air, and it just distracts them from the situation. That's what they were using with Kenzie, but because they have done so, she's been communicating and understands what WRONG means. So now that she's learned communication through the e-collar, when they present that marker word, they can issue a behavior modification with the e-collar. There we are. That's how they stop. And I mean, it really enhances everything. So we just talked about off-leash stuff. We talked about the behavior modifications. But the reason that it works so well is because the method of the behavior modifications is the 4 eyes we know. The introduction of the marker word, okay, an intolerable act. We're mentally aversive. Every dog's different. We work with what works for the dog. So if your dog loves being in your living room and loves being out with the children and having that good stimulus and she does something wrong, he or she, you could simply maybe able to remove them from that situation, basically like you would put a child in a timeout. Take her away from the stimulus that she enjoys, being out, putting her in a kennel or her crate, whatever you call it, for a short period of time, and then we're bringing her back out to the stimulus that she loves. That may be enough. It may not. The pet corrector, all of these are basically like when your seatbelt alarm is dinging. Ding, 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 it's telling us plug in the seatbelt. The only way we can stop the noise is to plug in the seatbelt. So everything that we do with the dogs, it all depends on where your dog is and what's going to work for your dog. And it could be a bonker, a martingale collar, up to a star mark, a Hearns, e-collars. All of these tools are used, but with proper communication, it will stop. The bad behaviors will stop. I've never seen one that won't. And you just have to just be consistent. And there is, your 4th eye is inevitable. It has to happen. And the 3rd eye is that it's inescapable. So if you want to remove your dog from the stimulus and put it in timeout, it's going to start learning that when you issue the behavior modification with, and you say WRONG or NO or rude, whatever word you choose to use, it's going to start reacting to that and understanding that it did wrong, and it's going to run away from you. If that intolerable act becomes inescapable, it will not work. And again, the 4th eye is it has to be inevitable. It must happen. If it doesn't, it will become learned irrelevance, and you will be changing the marker word like we did with no, because no didn't work. And if you are consistent and you follow through and you introduce the marker word and the intolerable act happens and it's inescapable and you follow through every time, the behavior will stop happening. It will not